How's everybody doing today? Whoo-wee. We've had a busy day. I think I'm at a good stopping point so that we can do a live stream and have some fun. I don't want to grow up. Hey, if you guys are going to catch this on the recap, tired. Make sure you go ahead and do a thumbs up. Make a comment. But stick around because the chat usually is very interesting as it goes on. We're early, so we got to give time for people to get in here. Is what we got to do, all right? But we appreciate all of you folks that come back to our channel and watch our videos and check things out. Without you guys, we'd be a whole bunch of nobodies. Me and Lily. Say hi, Lily. I know Lily's a pretty dog. I know. Me and Lily, my dogs, we're here. Let's sit and watch TV. Relax, girls. So, am I squared away? Yeah, all right. I think I'm good to sit and do a live stream. I got to work on a bunch of stuff, but you guys are more important than that. Thank you for the 3 thumbs or the blah, 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 blah. All right. Whew. All right. You can tell I'm getting old. But it's good to have everybody here. Thanks the 3 people in the house watching. 1 thumbs up already. I'm trying to get the battery. We use just a little vlogging tip for you. One of the best things for your vlogging or live streaming like this is a battery pack. I have a battery pack. When I go outdoors and I take it and I'm on my mobility scooter or out fishing, I carry the battery pack and this thing will last, 7 to 10 hours. So you can live stream like crazy with one of these battery packs. We take it everywhere with us. I keep it charged up. I think we got this in the Philippines really cheap for only like 10 bucks. So I liked and subbed. Thank you, Paul. We appreciate that more than you know. But these are a great resource if you're going to do live streaming or making videos out, in public, whatever it may be. CR7 says hello. So I highly recommend one of these. We use it all the time. It's great. And it keeps my phone from dying. Because sometimes when I take you guys out into the real world, we may be out in the real world for, 6, 7 hours. When we have big parties and I live stream them, so you guys can enjoy what our parties are like. And you get to see all the pretty girls. We could be out here for, that one night was 12 hours. So CR7 says hi, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for the thumbs up. We got 20 people watching. I know we got a whole bunch of people back there going, where's the naked girls? Where's the girls? Show me the women. How much for the women? But drop a message. Say hello. Say hello to everybody else. Introduce yourselves. Let us know where you're from. We love hearing about all the other countries in the world. So thank you all for the thumbs up. If you're new to us, subscribe to the channel. We do have memberships available. We have a lot of members, but we do have some memberships available. We have super chats available, PayPal. But I really like it when you guys subscribe to our channel. Can I share with you my story? Absolutely. As long as it's clean. If it's a dirty story, that ain't going to work. But as long as you keep it clean, absolutely. Love to hear your story. Paul says he liked and subbed. There was a girl on Girl Call. Well, we're happy to hear your story. I'm reading your story, so that if I'm silent because I want to read your story, make sure I understand. So you had a girl or there was a girl. She was my first girlfriend, maybe the last one. Well, that ain't gotta happen. 2 years ago, she cheated on me. Well, that happens. And left you. We never met up long distance relationship, but I still love her. All right. Last month, I got to know that she's engaged to your buddy's cousin, I guess, your cousin, or you're a friend. Okay, I got you. I'm happy for her, but cannot move on. Well, if you cannot move on, then you're not happy for her. It's been 2 years in my country right now. It's 4 a.m. and nobody share my story. Well, we're happy to listen to your story, and I'm going to give you. You want some advice? Hello from Greenville. Hey, Greenville, South Carolina. I like South Carolina. We actually really looked at moving to Myrtle Beach. We went there on a trip, fell in love with Myrtle Beach. Then we realized it gets cold as shit in the winter there. So, all right, I'll give you some advice about love, dating, relationship. One, I get the impression that you're probably young, not old like me. You're going to fall in love more times than you think. Henry, thank you for being here, by the way. HTN, thank you for being here. Everybody say hello to everybody and give thumbs ups. So here's my recommendation. You said that you're happy for her, but you can't move on. So what that really tells me is you're lying to yourself, that you're not happy for her. Your heart is still breaking. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you that's very important to understand. As long as you let her have control over your heart will never find another. Okay, listen to my words. I know I talk fast. I do, and I understand that. So I want to make sure you understand my English because it's not great English. As long as you let another girl occupy space in your heart, you will never find another girl ever. You got to truly, with all beings of you, let her go. And understand it just wasn't the right one, and that's okay. There's nothing to say every girl you meet has to be the right one. They're not going to be the right one. Most of them are just the next one. That's it. Your last one is the right one. Got it? The very last relationship that you will be in will be the last relationship, will be the right relationship. But you can't get there, and you never know when you're going to be there. The only way to get there is to keep trying. If you put a big blockage in your heart and won't give yourself the respect of being able to love somebody else, then that's something that you need to work through. Let me get caught up here. 1980s loves Myrtle Beach. Yes, about 4 hours from us. We used to live in New York. Well, no, and that's the real cold in the winter, I know. I'll take the cold here compared to there. Filipino Bai in the house, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here from the Carolinas. We got family in the Carolinas. We got friends out there. We're going to live in southern Alabama from where we're at. So I get you from New York to the Carolina is much warmer. So I got you. So does anybody have any advice for this young man who wants to get over a young lady who maybe did him wrong? My advice to him is don't give her the power to control your future, and that's what you're doing. If she cheated on you, well, that's on her, and that just shows you who she is. That's not about you. So don't make her problems about you. I encourage you to open your heart, open your mind, and realize the next one might be the last one. But you won't know that until you open your heart. Henry saying, hello, Bai. Miss Bai, how are you? Miss Bai, have you had your heart broken? How about Henry? 1983, us old guys have had, I'm not saying you're old, I don't know how old you are, my friend. But I appreciate you being here. It's good to have you. We got some thumbs up going in. So, Bai, what's funny is, I'll tell you guys, I love it when I first start a live stream. I get like 20, 30 people in here. They pop in real quick and they're looking around and they're going, oh, well, I don't see any sexy women. So, or any ugly women. I see no women at all. I just see a fat guy with a beard and they run off. So that's funny. But Henry says, oh, I got to go right back. I'll be right back in the house. All right. So that's my advice. Does anybody have any advice for this young man? So, yeah, I couldn't imagine living in New York, to be honest. I don't even want, my wife would like to go shopping there. But this old boy doesn't even want to go there for that. So she's kind of been after me lately to do a trip to New York. And I keep telling her, well, you know, maybe we can find another one, another place to go. Well, that's part of my love advice for you. If you don't open up, you can't find love, I'm telling you. And you don't want to give anybody the power over you, is what it is. So, but we enjoy the Carolinas very much. Been there multiple times. We took a trip out there and hung out and really, really enjoyed it. And we really thought we would move to Myrtle Beach. But Myrtle Beach's latitude is about the same as where we are. So I know it's chilly. Mars is in the house. Welcome in, Mars. How are you? Thank you for the thumbs up as you came in. How are you doing today? We appreciate you being here. We've already had a great question and a great comment about brokenheartedness. Thank you, brother. I will try to move on. Thank you for this advice. It's so nice of you. Well, what I'm telling you, it's not about moving on. It's about not giving them power to hold you back. We move on. If nothing's in our way, if we don't let things get in our way, we naturally move forward anyway. You're choosing to let them block your path, but that's on you. What's this channel about? Our channel, man, we got everything. We talk about immigration. We talk about beautiful women. We talk about married life. How to find a Filipina, how to cook, how to clean, how to take trips. My beautiful 2 doggies that are suffering. We talk about anything that you guys want to talk about on these live streams. We do a lot of fishing stuff, cruise ship stuff. It's about my wife and I, our life, and how we blend her culture and my culture together, and how we conquer all the demons and all the good, the bad, and the ugly, so to speak. Merging 2 cultures from halfway around the world together and making it all work, because a lot of people don't understand that it's not the easiest thing in the world when you blend 2 cultures together. You got to have a lot of love, patience, and understanding, and understanding. And you got to be smart about it. So Mars, that's kind of what our channel's about. But we're open when we do live streams to have a discussion about pretty much anything you might want to discuss, as long as it's polite conversation. So that's what we're about. We're about in New York. Oh, we're planning on taking your trip to, we used to live in northern New York. Oh, Katie, in the border. Okay, so you lived in the country. So you lived in the good part of New York. No. My wife wants to go to New York City. I keep telling her, she's from the Philippines, and the Philippines has Manila and Cebu, 2 of the largest cities. Those are the 2 largest cities in the Philippines. I said, they're not no different. New York's no different. You know, there's a bunch of rats and smelly shit and lights, and it's the same thing. So I'm trying to convince her. It's kind of like going to New Orleans, you know. But we wouldn't mind going to see Niagara Falls. I think we'd rather see it on the Canadian side. But we'd like to go see the Niagara Falls. But she just wants to go and say that, hey, I've been to New York City. I have no interest. As an American, never been to New York, but I've been to Chicago, LA, Dallas, Memphis, my God, Phoenix, Denver. I mean, they're all the same, right? Big cities are all the same in America. Amish country, very nice, 1983, very nice. Mr. Eric, 1983, thank you very much. We have a little bit of Amish around us, but not much. But we do like their food and their culture and their vibe, and we respect what the Amish people do. So, just a recommendation. The Thousand Islands, beautiful area of St. Lawrence River. Yes, yes. I've been looking at we like cruises, and we're gonna go take a Greek or a Mediterranean cruise next year. We're hoping, but we've looked at taking the U.S. I got to remember what they're called, the river cruises up through the St. Lawrence River. I've looked at those. Jose, fantastic's in the house. Thank you. Evening. Oh, says hello. How are you? Thank you for the thumbs up coming in. How's everything going on your channel, Jose? How are you doing these days? We're having a cool weather here. It's getting ready. The weatherman just said a few minutes ago, tomorrow morning is going to be clear skies and cold. So we got a lot going on with Christmas. You can see Lorelei, my beautiful wife, is decorating the house for the party. That's her tree. Let me get you guys loosened up and turn you around. We're not close to finished decorating for Christmas yet, but we're making headway each and every day. So if I can get her just not to change her mind on the decorations, kind of stick to it. Good, had some gift memberships and almost 2,400 subs. Feels nice. Nice. I know, you're now a member of our channel. Thank you for that. How do you feel about that? Our good friend, and I know you saw it in your notice, our good friend and supporter and sponsor, Dennis, gave a whole bunch of people free memberships to our channel. I can't thank him enough for that because it's helpful. It brings you back to the channel, and it's very nice of him. So I hope you are okay with it. And all I ask in return, even though I didn't do it, is maybe you just help us grow our channel and watch and subscribe and comment and do all those things that memberships do. So we do have, I started a new level. I have two different, just talking about memberships. We have the basic one because we don't think it's great to charge just to be a member. We're not going to show you our boobs or anything. So there's not a whole lot we can give you at the lower level. We do put out a bunch of videos. So maybe that comes out early, things like that. But we have two levels, the very base level that YouTube allows us. And then we have another level that's really expensive at $100 a month, because then you get one-on-one advice and counseling and consultation with us and one-on-one privately. So, but that's what we do. But Dennis, our good friend, was just excited. He figured that out. We didn't know how it worked. So we all learned a really good lesson that when you gift memberships, you don't get to assign them. So like, let's say if I went to your channel and I wanted to gift memberships, I would do it. I would, be the gifter. And they would go out to random people that subscribe to your channel. So I wouldn't have any ability to control who gets them. So that was kind of cool. So we learned something from it. And then we also learned that all of you guys get notifications about, hey, somebody just gifted you a membership, which I think is really cool because, to be honest, nobody's ever gifted me a membership for anything. So, so that's exciting. It helps us work on our channel. It's important to us to try to grow our channel. Okay, I was trying to understand. I had 5 yesterday. Well, you had 5 gifts yesterday. I think yesterday what happened, from 5 different people or 5 from my channel. If you got 5 from my channel, I think there was a time when he did it, the button went off and it kind of went zzz, and it may have sent multiples to the same person, but that's a YouTube thing. We had no control over it. But the only thing you had to be was a subscriber to our channel. Oh, wow. Wow, you're very important then. You must have hit the YouTube lottery, man. You better go buy the lottery ticket. Because if YouTube sent you 5 different ones, they must like you, right? 5 different channels. I put people in my community posts. Nice. That is good. That is good. And I'm going to do a community post after. It takes a little bit for me on my side of the camera or on my side of the channel for all the memberships to come through. And once they do, I'll do announcement in my community page too about all my new subscribers. So we're going to do that too. But yeah, it's a nice surprise. I mean, nobody's ever gifted me anything. I can barely get a slice of bread in prison. I had to just drink water and eat cockroaches in prison. But no, it's a good thing. So I'm very thankful for Dennis. He's looking out for our channel, trying to help us grow and network. And we're excited about being able to help people, to advise people. I'm becoming a life coach, a certified life coach. That's partly why we did that high membership thing, and then just the average membership for everybody else. Because I spend a lot of my time every week, believe it or not, for free, and I don't mind doing it for free, giving people advice about marriage, about jobs, about immigration, about, just pets, traveling. I give a lot of advice out, and I'm happy to do it. It makes me feel like I was a teacher again. So, Jose, I really enjoy giving the advice, but, YouTube pushes us content creators to have memberships and to do ad partnerships and do all these other things because they make money off of us. So, like this live stream here, YouTube is pushing this format out currently because it gets a lot of attention. So YouTube pushes it out. The more comments you have in a live stream, YouTube gets excited and goes, oh, wow. The more people that you actually have come into a live stream and go out and come in, go out, come in, go out, and come in, the numbers jump. And YouTube goes, oh, there's something exciting happening in there. Let's push it out. If somebody gives me a super chat and a live stream, YouTube goes, oh, that's very exciting. He's getting money. I get 30% of it, YouTube. And YouTube will push out the live stream even further. So they get excited whenever there's a lot of activity because there may be the potential of earnings for YouTube. But that's why a lot of people, because YouTube takes 30% of everything off the top, they get their money. That's why a lot of people do PayPal accounts, just in case you don't know this. They do PayPal accounts, and people who want to support a channel or help somebody get a new camera or get a new hat, I don't know, then people can donate 100% to that person's PayPal account, and there's no taxes, and YouTube doesn't take it. So that's kind of how all of that membership stuff works. But we got some exciting videos coming up. I'm going to teach. I got some videos I'm working on. We're going to be doing live streams all the way up through period, but I got some good videos I'm going to be working on. I'm going to show everybody how Americans make, I'm going to do it all myself, how Americans make Thanksgiving dinner. And you guys will be highly impressed with my Thanksgiving meal, whatever you call it. And then my wife got a nice gift that's coming in the mail from one of our friends. We got a dear friend that we haven't seen since I retired from teaching, who messaged me the other day and said, hey, I found something at a flea market that I think your wife will just really, really love. And I'm like, well, that's cool. What is it? She sent me a picture, and I'm like, oh, yeah, send it, because I'm going to take it. My wife will love it, but I'm going to love it more. And when it gets there, I'm going to open the box and show everybody, because a lot of people get a kick out of it. And then I'm going to keep it. So I don't think my wife is going to get it tonight. So that's what we've been doing, what we are doing. And tonight's topic is about, what are you going to be when you grow up? Are you going to grow up? Do you want to grow up? We got to talk about some fun things. And I'm working on some technology stuff. We're trying to figure out how to do a dual live stream like this. So I've been working on that a little bit today with a friend, and Lorelei, my wife, and I need to work on some things with, so we want to take you with us when we go out looking at Christmas lights. But I'm hoping I can get you 2 different camera angles. And so I'm working on that. It'll be kind of cool. And then we're realizing that as much live streaming as I do I do on my phone, I probably need to get a different type of I think they're called a DJI camera series, lightweight, handheld with a gimbal in it that you can take with you and you can do video while you're live streaming because it's hard to video while you live stream, obviously, on the device that you have. So that's what we're working on. We're working on a lot of that kind of stuff to see how we can make it happen and see how it does. Very exciting times for us. We got my birthday comes up at Thanksgiving, so we're gonna have a good time there. We got a big Christmas party happening December the 14th, which should be fun. We got visitors from around the country coming in. We even have a visitor from Canada coming. We have a lot of Filipino women coming and their husbands, and we're gonna have a lot of great food. And hopefully the girls will sing Christmas karaoke versus, I Will Only Love You by Celine Dion for the 9 millionth time. So 7 people watching. Thank you all for being here. Let me know who's all back in the background. Drop a chat up front and let me know who's here. If you got any questions or thoughts, let me know. Happy to entertain them. So we're really excited about the holidays. Seems like it's going to be fun. We're going to have a fun holiday season. Thanksgiving's going to be kind of quiet. Big Henry is back. Big Henry is back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle. Guess what happened today, Henry? My wife, I don't know if she's got it or not, but my wife went to work without her phone, but she does have one of those fancy iWatches because you know how those women are. You got to have that fancy technology. So I took her phone to her car because I can't get inside her building, and I put it in her car, and I messaged her from my phone, letting her know that her phone was in her car because she forgot it. But I don't know if the cell phone has to be so close to the wristwatch. I don't know. Does anybody else know? If you have an Apple Watch, can your phone be anywhere and you get the text message? Or does it got to be like within 20 feet? So right now, at some point, and maybe she kind of knows that if she doesn't have her phone with her, that if I find it, I'll run it over and throw it in the car. So maybe she's already got her phone. I don't know. Or maybe she'll get it when she goes down on break. Or maybe she hasn't looked for it yet. I don't know. But I'm just kind of curious since I text her from my house and she's 3 miles away, if she got the text on her watch. And then I did it again in the parking lot of her building just to make sure. But I haven't heard anything. Yeah, I don't know, Henry. It's modern day technology. I'm old school, man. If my watch can tell time, I'm lucky to have it. You know. Yeah, right now she can't spy on me unless she goes down to her car and gets her phone. I guess she could. Well, and she can't pull YouTube up on the business computers. I did send her an email through her but she can't. I don't know if she can pull up her private email and see that I put her phone in her car. But right now we may be safe tonight, Henry. Tonight might be a spy-free night. No spies in the house. So, I don't know. We'll have to just kind of see if she pops in here a little bit later. And that's okay. So, Henry, are you, and this is my question for everybody who's going to come in tonight. Are you what you thought you would want to be to grow up into? I mean, are you remotely close to when you were a little kid? Yeah, time to party. Let the dogs out. Woof, woof. Right, Poopo? My dog with the heart failure, the black one, is just looking at me. The other one's asleep over there going, I don't really care what the people are talking about. Yep, time to party. Get the booze out. Get the women folk. Get them dancing behind me so I can get some views and likes and subscribes. But, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that today. What do you want to be when you grow up? Does people even come close? It's a hard question, right? I agree that it's hard in the fact that I think most people had multiple things that they wanted to be. So maybe at one time they want to be a fireman or a doctor or TV star. And what I kind of mean is when you started to become of age, when you're 16, 17, 18ish years old, 20, did you start developing what is it that you wanted to be in your head? What career you were thinking about? Did it pan out? Mine did not, because I've done everything that I wanted and then some. Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. It really is a good thing. I mean, I started off when I was in high school thinking, okay, what is it that I might want to do? I thought about becoming a history teacher and a football coach. Well, I never coached football and I never taught history. So, you know, that didn't work for me. But it's kind of what I wonder with people. Do they regret that, or do they look back and think, gee, my life turned out better than I thought it would when I was 18, or my life sucks worse than I thought it would be at 18. And at 18, when we look back upon it, was I delusional? Because look, I know a lot of friends that were delusional at 18. I knew some girls that thought they were going to be, TV stars and porn stars, and they were going to be rolling in the dough, and I knew some people that thought they were going to be pro athletes, and they're just drunks working at Walmart. I guess my expectations are a little lower. So that's kind of what I was wondering about today as Lorelai and I were out running around. Well, so you never picked a career path, but you fell into the things that you knew that you already wanted to do, or you fell into something and wow, I really like this. This is something I want to do. So, because I didn't fall into anything I wanted to do, but I fell into things that I really, once I was in there, wanted to do, if that makes sense. So that's how I did it. Yeah, and I think that's all right. I, and part of what I threw the picture up there today of all the serial killers is, you know, um, I really wonder sometimes, because I believe this happens, that people sit at a younger age and they go, I want to be a criminal. I think I want to be a bad guy. Do you think people think that, or do they just fall into the life of crime? Because, that's kind of what I think about. I watched a movie the other day called Bad Boys, not the one with Will Smith, but the original Bad Boy movie, the Bad Boys movie with Sean Penn back in what was that, the late 70s or early 80s, about bad boys. And that's kind of what got me thinking about some of this. I watched that movie, I think yesterday. Jose says, I fell into it. So let me ask you a follow-up question then. Are you happy that you fell into it? Or are you in a situation where I hear a lot of people saying, I'm just going through the motions because they pay my bills? I got lucky enough that I fell into something that I wind up really enjoying, and parts of it I miss greatly because I don't do it anymore. And I think luck, skill, being Johnny on the spot, so to speak, plays into that. So I know a lot of people that I've talked to and I've given career advice to over the years, because I used to give a lot of career advice to college students. I never planned to play music or go overseas. I just fell into everything and went with it. Well, kind of what I mean, but partly what I mean, HTN, is this. when you fall into music, okay, and you're doing music, when you're doing music, do you have a dream, a music dream? You know, did you feel like that you got the music dream out of you? Or do you feel like there's still something hanging? I'm happy visiting places and having a good family. I think that's great. You got to be happy. And I tell people this, being happy is a choice. Now, you can be a, look, you can be as poor can be, but you can still be happy. Happiness is a mindset. We choose to be depressed. We choose to be sad. We choose to be miserable. We choose to be happy, is what we choose to do. And part of that is making the best of any situation you're in. I taught myself how to work on cars and how to weld and work on heavy machinery. That's something that I was asked to do. And I said, okay. And I taught myself. That's good. And I do think, the other thing I think, I really am starting to embrace this philosophy. And I know a lot of people may think I'm a little bonkers for it. But if you can change a negative into a positive. I'm just going to use this as an example. If you don't like your wife and you're always thinking, oh, I don't like my wife. I don't like my wife. I'm not life, whatever. I don't like my dog. Let me pick on my dog. I don't like my dog that I have. I don't like the dog I have. My dog is stupid. My dog is bad. My dog, my dog, my dog. I believe this. I believe if you stop the negativity, stop it cold, stop bitching and complaining about how much you hate about your dog, and you start looking at it and saying, and whether it's a lie or not in the beginning, it will come true in the end. I like my dog. I like my dog. I like my dog. My dog is funny. My dog smells. My dog is funny. My dog has 4 legs. My dog is whatever. If you quit doing the negativity and then you can move on to the positive side, eventually you're going to sit there and go, I actually really do like my dog, because you're making the choice to change what's inside you and how you see it and how you relate to it. Instead of somebody saying your dog is ugly, and you go, yeah, you're right, my dog is ugly, so I hate my dogs, my dog is ugly. Why did you give that person that power to do that? No, your dog's not ugly. Just because that person said your dog is ugly doesn't mean that your dog is ugly. It means that person who said your dog was ugly is an ugly person. Not that he believes your dog is ugly, but the fact that he is just an ugly person. Right now, I still feel like I want to go back into, but on my terms. Yeah. And I think everybody should do things on their own terms. I'm a big fan of that. I really am. Because if it's not on your own terms, then you're going to be miserable. Miserable. Young Lady Diana is in the house. Lady Diana! Soul Soother, Lady Diana's in the house. Hello to you tonight. We're talking philosophy again. Isn't that anything we do? Hey, Diana from HTN. Diana, our good friend Jose is also here tonight, and a few other people in the background hiding. So, hey, Henry from Diana. So that's kind of, look, I never envisioned being where I was in life. Now, granted, for me as a kid, being a history teacher and a football coach, I even knew that was shooting for the stars from where I came from. I came from a situation where being a high school teacher and coaching football was like winning the lottery. So that tells you a little bit there. Hi, Jose, playing music and getting back into playing music. Well, I think you ought to play it on your terms and because you love to do it. Jose said, hello, Diana. Hey, Jose. Hope all have a good day. We're trying. We're trying. I think we're all having a good day. So I look back now and think how sad it was when I was growing up, the way I grew up. The thought of becoming a high school coach was shooting for the moon. I feel very, my, my family, my dad didn't believe in giving you an encouraging word at all. He didn't want anybody to be better than him. And he would have never encouraged you to get an education. Well, he just didn't do anything. He could care less. It wasn't his thing. So I had nobody who said, hey, you could do better. You could do whatever you want. If you do this or that, you can move forward. So shooting to be a high school teacher was my own dream. And I think back now going, I know high school teachers are good, and I know it's a good career, and I'm not putting them down. But I want to say how pathetic it was for me as a young boy or a young man to think, geez, man, if I could just become a football coach, man, I would have it made in life. Kind of sad. And then I wound up teaching college. So that's kind of a weird way around. Backlash is in the house saying hello to Pack. Everybody say hello to our good friend Backlash out in the Carolinas. We had another Carolinian. What do you guys call Carolinians? Would that be right? Are you guys called Carolinians? That doesn't sound right. Sounds kind of right. We had another somebody from your state visiting us a few minutes ago. They may still be here in the background. Wow, we got 12 thumbs ups already. I appreciate all of that. Backlash, how are things going for you? I hope well. Hopefully I don't have to run out again. Hopefully, but look, I get what you do. We appreciate what you do. We know what you do is important. So if you got to run out, it's okay. I'd rather you go, well, I could either go help these people or watch Pack on TV or on live stream. Yeah. PS5 exploded the other night. Oh, PS5 exploded. So which games are you into on PS5? Because I don't play any of them. I'm too poor. I can't afford a PS5. They're like $600. That's a lot of money. I got a good friend, though, that has a whole setup where they do the driving and the seat, the shifter and all of that. That's pretty cool. That was, the fire you went to. Wow. Wow. The fire you went to was, oh, wow. Wow. That's wicked. Holy smoking farting games. Well, I was working as a full-time job when I was 9 or 10, still going to school. Yeah, my father put me to work. He would rip my happy ass out and collect the money. When I was a big kid, I was a strong kid always. And I was always doing chores all over the trailer park and being assigned to go do this and to go do that. Found out years later my dad was collecting the money. A PS5 exploded and caught the wall on fire. Wow, I've never, in your field, is that pretty common? Gaming systems to burn out, or to explode or to catch on fire? Sorry, I'm eating a Subway sandwich. Subway is good, but getting expensive. Man, they're all expensive. Jesus, we really like Jimmy John's better than Subway, but we went through Burger King the other day and paid $12 for one number one combo, a Whopper and fries and a Coke. Medium. Paid 12 freaking bucks. Jesus, we're spending too much money. You didn't get the rest of us one, Diana. Yeah, Diana didn't buy us any. I like Subway, but what I don't like is the ones around us don't have any drive-thrus. And I don't like going in inside when I'm trying to find Lorelei some lunch. I had a coupon for 3 foot long. Ooh, that's a pretty good deal. $20 basically for 3 foot longs. That's a good one. You could probably sell those other two for like $7 each and get your money back. I do like Subway though. The one that we have close to us just doesn't have a drive-through. Zach says he loves my American accent because he's from England. Well, that's good because I'm an American, so it's kind of the only one I have. But I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. PlayStation 5s are having issues where the newer game graphics overheat the graphic cards and end up causing the motherboard overload. Okay, I get that. And then it burns up the battery and kaboomy. All right, so no PlayStation 5 in this house. We don't have one anyway. You know, to be honest, I don't know what I'd do with my day, but I can't sit around and play games like a lot of these people play games. I just can't do it. My brother's eating one. All right, so that left one extra for Henry and I to split. Diana, just saying. I was taking care of everyone in the family. Yeah, I know, Henry. You know, I know. Zach says, you look so cute. Thank you. I'm not only cute, I am super styling and profiling, my friend. Do you have Snapchat? I do not have Snapchat. And to be honest, I don't know what you do with Snapchat. I really don't. I am sorry, Zach. I do not. I've been thinking about doing an OnlyFans page and selling pictures of my feet. Would anybody want those? But I've looked into OnlyFans. It seems kind of complicated. That's a long drive for a sub. Well, you know, you're the one driving, not us. All you got to do is go to Mississippi first, make a big loop, and come down through Arkansas, then head back to Oklahoma. You'll be all right. Take you a couple of days. Backlash says, I can sit around in the winter, but not as much. What? I can sit around in the winter, but not as much in the winter. I think your auto thingy got something there. But if you guys haven't subscribed to our good friend Backlash, please do. Same thing with everybody's channel. We need to do that. If you get an OnlyFans page, I don't have a... Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm kind of confused about how to do it, to be honest. And, you know... But we appreciate that, Zach. I hope you subscribe to our channel. And look, if you just want to see pictures of my feet, you can just email me on YouTube, and I'll send you pictures of my feet. So, Backlash says, if he likes you that much, I'd be in trouble. Not as much in the summer, yes, yeah. Looks like we have I don't know if he's quite a troll. He may, we'll have to see how it goes, Henry. But that's okay. So far, it's nice and polite. And the nice and polite ones we're okay with. It's the ones that can't be nice and polite with. So, 2 days top trip. Yeah, right? Not a big deal, She may get hungry on the way and eat it. So she'd have to stop and get another one. Great. Zach says, I subscribe to you, so if you do get it, then update your profile. Okay, I will. Yeah, that's one thing I was reading today, that if you're doing all these other social media things, you got to update your profile and put it all on there. And I kind of got confused, so I didn't do anything today. Yeah, we agree, Zach. I agree with you. Yeah, we don't really care. On this channel, we don't have any hang-ups about who people sleep with or who they don't sleep with, what religion they are, what country they're from, what color they are. Everybody's welcomed. We just don't. I'm used to, I know Henry is probably in shock, but I get a lot of compliments, believe it or not, My wife gets 10,000 times more than I do, but for every one I get, she gets 10,000. But so yeah, you give good vibes, mate. Thank you. Appreciate that. I get you good vibes. I try hard to grow this channel to be a positive channel to make people happy and entertain them a little bit. It's how I would want to be treated. So I try to treat you all the same way. And so we just, Zach, just so you know, we just have some followers like HTN who looks out for us. Because sometimes we get bad people in here who wants to say bad things about children and things like that. So we got to be really careful. And you get some of those people that come in here that are only looking for naked women and running their, so we're just careful. Well, I don't really, to be honest, Zach, I don't really have any advice on this one. I have advice for a lot of things and a lot of topics, but how to help people figure out their sexuality, to be honest, I really don't know how you work on that or anything. I think you just follow your heart. Don't believe the hype. Don't listen to others. Don't listen to social media. All right? Don't do any of that. Don't listen to because right now being gay or being bi or transsexual is very popular and cool. 20 years, it's not going to be. So you just do you and don't worry about anybody else. Sanders, hello, hello, hello. Charles Sanders in the house. Thank you for being here, buddy. We appreciate you. One of these days, we're going to get to Texas, I'm telling you. Or you're going to migrate north a little bit, and maybe we can migrate south a little bit. What's up, Henry? Nothing shocks me anymore. Yeah, it doesn't shock me, and it doesn't bother me. So, yeah, I try to come to your streams whenever you're on. Thank you. I appreciate that, Zach. You're welcome. We don't, the only thing we don't do here is we don't criticize others for thinking differently than we do. So I don't care if you believe the way I believe, you're still welcome. Your opinion is your opinion, and that's okay. It's not my job to convince you otherwise. That's not my job, not my role. If you have questions and you want my advice as a life coach, I'll give you my advice. So, but yeah, so Sanders, how are you tonight? How are the kids? How's the wife? Did you guys did the wives have a good time meeting with each other? Well, I don't know if I'm that nice of a guy. I definitely have a limit, but so I don't know if I'm a nice guy or not, to be honest, Zach. I appreciate the thoughts of me being nice. I'm just very direct and very honest. That's what I am. And I grew up hard, been and done things, died 4 times. If you don't like it, if you don't like me, then whatever. No skin off my back. I have to go now because it's nearly 1 a.m. here. But it's nice meeting you. Appreciate you, Zach. Take care. Be safe. And enjoy yourself. So yeah, one of these days, Sanders, we're gonna get together with you guys. Yeah. Zach says, bye, you two have fun. So everybody say goodbye to Zach. Very nice young gentleman out of England, he says. So, well, it's too bad you guys can't come up for the party on the 14th. We'd love to have you guys drive all the way up from South Texas to come to a party in northern Arkansas. So, bye, Zach. Did Sanders? Oh, Sanders is one of the ones that didn't get a membership. I was wondering who all got one and didn't get one. Sanders, we had a good friend, Dennis, give out a whole bunch of memberships. Or give out, what is it? Gifted memberships to our channel. And so I think he did like 100 of them. So and Viking in Norway did a few on our channel too. So we have all kinds of people that got these. So yeah, Jose got one, and he's here listening. He said he got 5 by 4 other channels and my channel. So he got 5 total yesterday. I told him he's a very popular man. He's a very, very popular young man. But yeah, so Sanders, Diana, did I ask Diana yet? Diana, Sanders, Jose. I know we're going to some of my graduate courses. Nice. Nice, nice. Diana, did you get to do the things that you thought you wanted to grow up to be when you were like, 15 to 20? That 5 year span when we're starting to, before when we're little kids going, yeah, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a fire engine guy. At some point we start to age 15, 16, 17, 18 and go, I think I want to be a hat wearing fat guy with a beard. And my question is, when you're thinking about those things back then, did you achieve them? Same thing for you, Sanders. Did you do what you thought you were going to be when you grew up? Are you that person? Were you that person? No, but I'm okay with it knowing what I know now. Well, and I kind of agree, and that's where I was talking a little bit about Diana. In my ignorance, I thought being a high school football coach and history teacher was winning the lottery. I mean, that was striving for the stars for me, and I've done way more than that than that would have ever. You know what I mean? So, what may I ask? Because I think me wanting to be a high school teacher was a little low on the bar. So, and I'm a little disappointed thinking I thought that was such a big deal. So do you think modeling, so you're going to do modeling. Okay, I did a little modeling in my day. I did a little. I think you told me one time you were into it for a while, then you kind of realized how ugly it was and got out of it or something, if I was remembering right. So when you're a young woman, you wanted to do modeling, so you got to experience that. And that's good. I'm not saying you have to do it forever or it's the end all to be all. And I also tell people, look, what we want as 18 is not what we want when we're 30, 40, 50, or 60. Our priorities change all the time. I mean, my God, I want to be a high school football coach. I'm really glad I didn't become a high school football coach, to be honest. I think I would have been miserable. I think I would have killed children. I think I would have been one of those guys on the TV who would be, like Bobby Knight, ripping the head off the kids. No, I didn't. I did not. I would have been prime time before prime time, but I realized I was calling my mentor all the soldiers I did who eventually become a good leaders in the Army. All right. I think most people, when they're young, want to be prime time, so to speak. Now, I had no delusions when I was young that I would be prime time. I mean, shooting to be a high school football coach was a big deal. It was, a monumental mountain for me to climb. Do you remember the Coca-Cola commercials where they were always singing? Yes, I do. We were the ones where they're doing the "We Are the World." We are the hands of the people over the world, or whatever it is, Diana. Those I remember a lot of the Coca-Cola. They don't do very good ones anymore, by the way. Were you in some of those commercials? Here in Texas, high football coaches, 6-figure salaries over 200. I agree. Now, Texas is crazy about their football and about how much they pay. But I think I would have wound up killing one of the kids or two by ripping their heads off. So I would have been one of those viral, not nice coaches back then. They contacted me, wanted me to do one. Then I found out I was pregnant. So you didn't get to do it because you were pregnant, I'm assuming. I did a couple little things myself. Nothing major. Got paid pennies. So I think being a high school football coach in Texas would be very stressful. Do you regret not getting to be in those commercials? Or do you think it wouldn't have been, now that you're older and wiser, do you realize that it really wasn't a big deal? Yeah, you know? Or do you think if you would have went there that it would have changed your life? You worked for Paul Mitchell, the hairdresser. See, I know things. Yeah, the hair guy, the shampoo guy, or whatever he was. Glad you didn't do it. Okay, nice. Yay, Paul. Yeah, didn't he get sued? No, that was that was some other guy. We may have got sued. I'm sure he did. There's another hair guy that got in trouble. I did runway work for them. Nice. Yeah, I never did runway work. You know, I was too fat and wobbly. I kind of walked like a penguin. But my headshot was used once or twice in things. And we also got paid to do a NanoSock commercial. So, and then I've had people pay me a little bit of money to use snippets of my videos that they want to put into a bigger ad. And I've had that happen a few times. So I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, we saw your video on this, and can we buy or borrow, you know, this 2 seconds? Okay. Ooh, I had really long hair and they chopped it short on stage. Oh, so you were one of the models and they were doing a hairdo on you. They took your long hair and they were modeling. Oh, wow. How did you feel about that? Was it worth the money to get your hair all chopped? Or did you, I'm assuming you wanted to keep the long hair. So were you, did you want short hair? Or was it kind of like, well, they're paying me, so I'm going to let them do it type of thing? Because look, if you pay me, you can cut my hair. I mean, I'm cheap, you know. It was funny this morning, Timmy Stories was talking about dignity, you know, not selling your dignity for money. And I was trying to convey to her that us men, we have a much lower threshold. We would take money over dignity a lot. So, you know, look, if somebody wants to make a fool out of me and they want to pay me for it, I can do it. If you want to shave my head and pay me for it, hell, I can do it. You know, we have my wife, a different story, and I wouldn't want her to go down those roads. And, you know, she would have to really believe in it to do it. And grew back, and we got to keep the clothes nice. I was young and knew it wouldn't take long to grow back. Good. So it's worth doing. You know, and it's a side hustle, Diana. I'm really convinced that everybody should do every side hustle they can to make a better life for themselves. What do you think YouTube is for me? YouTube is a side hustle. The company reviews that I do, the product reviews I do, a side hustle. The consulting fees, side hustle. If you can make a few bucks here and there doing some things, I think people ought to do it. Don't be shy about it. Embrace it. Be proud of it. Because we got a lot of friends that struggle in the world. And I am impressed by people that will go out and work a shit job and bust their ass to bring home a few dollars because a few dollars is better than no dollars and it's good work. And I really, when I look at people and I see that they are willing to do whatever it takes to make that dollar, to bring home the bacon, so to speak, because we all love bacon, I think it's a good thing. And that's kind of why, personally, I don't have a problem with Filipino girls trying to get out of the country by finding a foreigner to get out of the country, because that can change their life. whatever I could do to change my life for the better, I would try to do. And I think you can't take that away from anybody. Yep, that's why I'm not painting random things, building up some stock to sell. Yes, and when you're ready, we will advertise your stuff. Absolutely. We will be happy to do a big showing of some of your product to help with that. But I really, really believe there's nothing wrong with trying to make a dollar. Nice. I just did a painting of a cross. It's beautiful. Are you on Messenger? Because I say you can message me the picture and I can show everybody if you want. So, but if not, or email it to me and I can show everybody if you ever want me to do that, like I do Dennis's girlfriend. And I know a lot of people are, and I'm upset about the Netflix thing with the Tyson fight. And, but I don't blame Mike Tyson's for making 20 million bucks. I would give up my dignity like he did to do the same thing if I was in his situation. Also painted, woo! Did you visualize me without my shirt on again? That's what Lorelai says. I'm going to paint you without your shirt on. And I'm like, Jesus, Lorelai. Lorelai's not a bad painter herself. So she'll probably find that very interesting, Diana. We got a couple, I don't know where they're at, pictures of things that Lorelai painted when we were dating. She hasn't painted. We got all the art supplies here. She doesn't ever have time just to sit down and paint, though. But she likes to paint, and she's pretty good at it. She did landscaping and did a portrait of me. And we got those somewhere. I got them saved. So, well, I appreciate that, Diana. It's very kind of you. Very kind. But see, every side hustle you can do is great. Anything you can do that you love to do that's going to make you some money is great. People pay me to talk, so I talk. Obviously, I can talk a lot. People ask me and pay me for my advice. I give advice. I've been consulting for the last 25 years on different topics and subject matters. And I have no shame. So, you know, there's certain things I probably wouldn't do for money because they would offend my wife. You know, if I wasn't married, but now that I'm married and I got to be a good little boy, and I wouldn't want to, offend my poor wife, make her feel bad. So there's a lot of things like that. And I don't think part of what dreams, what I think about the dream situation is this, is when we have dreams as little kids, our dream is just that. And the dream's going to be a failure. So every dream, except for the last one, is a failure. And that's something that we all got to remember. I dreamed of playing football. Well, you can't do it forever. If you wanted to be a pro football player and you didn't make it, well, that dream's over. Every dream fails. Eventually, the dream of being a big YouTube star and making enough money for Lorelai will probably fail. But right now, we're in that dream of doing that. My dream of doing what I was doing at the college, it all comes to an end. It just does. And then we got to pick up a new dream. And that's something I try to encourage people is to understand. Just because every dream ends, you wake up from every dream. Just have another one. Sit down with yourself and say, what can today's dream be about? What's in my wheelhouse that will allow me to do A, B, C, and D? Start small. Be happy. So that's what I think. So I'm always curious if people grew up to be what they thought they were going to be. I know a couple guys that are in law enforcement, and I know a couple firefighters that they wanted right out of high school. They wanted to become firefighters. They wanted to become law enforcement. They joined the military, did their stint in the military, got out, went to the fire academy, the police academy, and they're doing exactly what they wanted to do. Now, I tell you, I've known some younger guys to do this, and I've known the guys my age. The guys my age are going, why in the hell did I do that? Do you not? They look back and go, yes, I did 30 years as a police officer. Not ashamed of it. But man, I could have done so much more with my life than spend 30 years as a police officer. And I've told one friend that I've talked to a lot about this, and I've told him, I said, but you can't have regrets like that. You got to just look forward and go, I've spent 30 years doing this. Look at how much money and benefits I've received from that 30 years. So now that you're 40 years old, 44, 45, I think it's 45, you can pivot, turn around, and do anything you want because you're getting a monthly check that's bigger than most people's check, and you don't have to work a day in your life for the rest of your life. So now you can go out and get a second career and be very happy. Very, that's what I think. And I thought about that. I wonder, because I had a plan when I was at the college. I was retiring early. I was supposed to be retired 2 years ago. I had retired 11 years ago. But in my head, when on my financial planning and my strategy, I was going to be retired 2 years ago and move off and have a second career. But I never got to do that. So it's just kind of interesting. So, well, we got still a bunch of people watching in the background, listening. I hope everybody's enjoying my ranting. So it reminds me, I still need to go back to Japan and check on something. God, Henry. Are you looking for a long-lost kid? Is that what you're going to check on? What else would you check on in Japan after 30 years? Come on. What are you going back to check on, Henry? I don't, people are kind of, you're a writer. See, Timmy's stories, she writes stories also. So that's great. I wish I could write. I would, I have a story that I would like to write, but I can't write. So your bank account there, well, it's probably been absorbed by the government. It's probably been sent out early years ago, notifications, no answer, then the bank just keeps it and, well, that foreigner's never coming back here again. Have you Googled it online? Have you gone online and searched? Bank of Japan. I had an account there 30 years ago. I want my 1,400 million yen or yuan or whatever it is. So I hope not. Well, I bet you it is. I bet you it's, in America, we have a provision that after so long, money diverts back to the state. Don't know about Japan. I think the Philippines is that way. We left money in a bank account in the Philippines one time, and I know they took it. They closed the account out and kept the money. The bank did. So, you didn't come back for it. You were inactive for 2 years in the Philippines, and they took it. Still stay in contact? Okay, well then maybe. If you've kept it active and checking into it, then maybe so. Maybe they can wire it to you somehow. We had a friend who had a bank account in Dubai that she had a bunch of money in. And when she got to America, she had to go and figure out how to get the money from Dubai to America. And so we kind of helped her with a little bit of that, but she was able to get Dubai's bank, whatever it's called, and they transferred her money into a bank in America. So Diana, what is it that you write? What are you writing? What type of, you write fiction, nonfiction, biographies? What is it that you write? But if I had the brain power to be a writer, I would write the story of my coma, and I think the story of my coma is complete now. I just got to go there and close it out and transfer it here. And I would imagine in today's world that you could do all, I know they probably want to see your passport, your old military ID, your driver's license from here. I would think you could do it all electronically by sending stuff without having to pay $3,000 for an airline ticket to to Japan and back just to go to the bank and cancel it. But if you want to go to Japan and hang out for a little bit while you're there, then yeah, all right. Well, while I'm here, I will definitely go and cancel out the bank account. So maybe. I know that I had what do they call the things like banks that aren't banks, but they're similar? Credit union. I started a credit union one time years ago when I first started working at the college. And it only had like $1,000 in it. And then the college changed how they did everything. And I kind of forgot all about this thing for about 10 years. And then one day I got a notification saying that I had, like $1,100.38. And if I didn't claim it within so many months or whatever it was, then it'd be forfeited to the state of Arkansas. So I claimed it. Well, I still have other things there. All right, I'm with you. Whenever I feel like it, I have a couple of things in my head. Nice, nice. I just can't. I've never been a writer. I mean, my writing skills are low, and now that my brain is a tiny bit squishy, I have more troubles writing than ever before. But man, would I really like to tell that story. And the story goes on, I have found long past, not long past, but quite a ways past after I came out of the coma. So Diana's in a credit union, yes. So that's what it was. I don't know, but I forgot about it for about 10 years. And then there was a whole bunch of us apparently at the college because we were using the college where they had the credit union connection. Then somebody changed something, and we all went to Regions Bank and blah, 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 and lost money for years for some of us. But right now, our favorite thing to use is Charles Schwab. So we use Charles Schwab a lot and for international stuff. But I think it's good to write stories and to get your feelings out. And I even the other day, I think it's good when you write to be brutally truthful without being truthful. Yeah, figure that one out. What I mean is, write what you're feeling, but it doesn't have to be the exact details that you went through. So I believe you can modify the details, but get the same feeling by changing dates and locations and things like that. You could help me write it? Oh, that'd be nice. Somebody would have to write it because part of my biggest problem, because I actually sat down and started to write this years ago. And I found myself trying to write it like a report, you know. But then I also realized all I was doing was rambling. And I was just doing timeline, blah, 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 just. So I think for me, I have to look at it as, do you write it as a third party? Do you write it as somebody who's telling a story? So that's where I get really confused, because I'm sure if you read anything I ever write, I jump back and forth from first person to second person to third person to past tense to future tense. I'm all over the freaking board. And that's kind of what I mean. My writing skills is next to zero. They're just not. I don't know how to organize what I want to make it. And I want to condense it, which is wrong if you're writing a book, say, or a short story. you don't necessarily want to condense everything. I want to, and then of course I wonder, because it's very detailed in my video, but in my coma about what happened. And so do you just write the facts without emotion? You know, it's one of those mixed bags for me that, and of course, writing with emotions is not easy. So writing how you felt, and then of course, how do you tell how you felt and what happened at the same time? To me, that's one of the tricky things. So, you know, for example, well, you know, I got shot in the arm, is what I got. What I felt was a hot, piercing piece of lead piercing my muscle and causing me such agony and scarring. You know, how do you kind of, you know, how do you make things flow without it being bad? So that's just kind of where I'm at on that. So I have trouble with it, but someday I would like to put a pen to paper, so to speak, because I think people might get a kick out of it. Yeah, you got to make them feel what you went through. But for me, and I agree, I totally agree. I feel like I bounce around. I feel like, and maybe this is just the academic, you know, when you write a report or a document, you want short, sweet, and to the facts. But I think storytelling is a different genre than writing a report. Yeah, yeah, you can do it. I can do it. I could do it. Yeah, I think you could do it. Somebody could do it. I can't do it. So, and I think that's kind of part of the thing for me. The hang up is I want to write it like a textbook or a report, and uh, and I can't. I don't have one. The grammar skills are gone, and two, the logic. I don't know. Henry says it's something. Writing is something that I can't do. I agree with you, Henry. It's not something I like to do, but academically, I've never been a good writer. I've never written good reports. That's why maybe I went to the keep it simple, stupid reports. When I did private consulting work, I wrote a lot of reports, but man, they were very, not a lot of fluff and puff in my reports. Arrived at 8:20 a.m., moisture meter said this. I examined, you know, the northeast quadrant of the building. You know, approximately 180 square feet of sheetrock was examined, and blah blah blah. I examined it by methods of examination. Da 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 da. Findings. Da 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 da. Summary. You have mold in your building. Thank you. That would cost $1 million. Thank you again. You know, which is really funny because I'm actually quite a wordy person when I talk. Start dictating into a voice recorder. Yeah, and I have a couple of those, and I bought those, and yeah, I've thought about doing that. I really have, and yeah, my part of my problem with that one is when I talk about it in detail, even to myself, it brings up a lot of crap. So, you know, it's a tough one. And because I actually had plans to write a different book when I retired. I was wanting to write a book, but I started the process. I really did. But I couldn't get the interviews I wanted to get. I was going to write a book about what happens, because, you know, I was a health and safety guy. And I wanted to write a book about what happens to the families of the people that were killed in workplace accidents. And I really wanted, because I have a lot of experience with this. And I wanted to write a book about this. I wanted to tell their stories. But I ran into roadblocks after roadblocks because the people didn't want to talk about their loved ones being killed and what they went through in the process and how it affected them and what happened. And I did want to talk about the details of the accident. And herein lies the problem. There were so many of these people that had, what do we call those? Non-disclosure agreements with the companies that they couldn't talk about the accident. So the only report I got was from OSHA and or the police department. So those there. But that's not the whole story. And so the people were so scared to talk about their loved one who got killed at Tyson Foods, for instance, because they got a check from Tyson's and signed a non-disclose. Sanders says, is dropping a link. All right, I'll look at it. You want to see some bad writing? See what Sanders did, he says. I'm going to pull it up if I can, if internet will let me. I guess I don't have Google Chrome. I have Safari, right? Yeah. Understand that, but if you want it written about you, I have to find a way to get through it. Yeah, I know. It's up to you, my friend. Be happy to help. Well, I appreciate that. All right. Ooh, hello everyone. I set up this blog page for me to post my thoughts on everyday feelings. As you can tell from reading my postings, I am not very good writer. I am not a very good writer. So if you read it, then you will just have to deal with what I write and post here. Yeah, that's a little non-flowy. So just try to understand my thoughts. Thanks for the people that will read it, and I hope it makes for great laughs. I'm going to show everybody what it is. See, I found it. You're famous. You're internet famous, and you didn't even know it. You're internet famous. Wow. You had 4 followers. That's more than I ever get. The cost of being a diabetic, different feelings, smelly flight. Oh, that's funny. Trust, and trust. Nice. Well, at least you did it. At least you tried it. Needing a job. Let's see. Let me see if I can read one. Losing my mind. That sounds like something I do every day. Over the last several months, my life has changed dramatically, and I don't know what direction that I am going in. It seems to hurt everyone that I come into contact with. My mind just hasn't been the same, and most times I find myself lost and confused. I know the best thing to do it, put my faith in the man upstairs. But even then, sometimes I just don't know how to even really go about it. I know people say pray, and I do, but I don't like should. So as now, I'm kind of stuck, I'm kind of lost, hurt, and more confused than ever. I will keep my head up, and I will try to make the best I can until I can figure things out, or my Father will show me the way. It's not bad. You did all right. It's hard to write, and I think we get on, and partly what my problem is when I write is my brain doesn't translate to what my hands do. So I find the fact that I miss words and sentences. So if I'm really trying to sit down and write something, do 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 do, and I'm thinking, when I go back and read it, I'm like, what? I'm like missing a word here. I'm missing a word, 2 words there. I miss a complete sentence that I thought I typed. I didn't type, So, I don't know what that is, but that happens to me a lot. And then I'm kind of like, what the hell did I say? So I can't just write free form because I suck at it. So, but I'm proud of you, Sanders, for even bothering to try to do a blog. That's kind of what YouTube is in a way. It's kind of a way to do the same thing. It's just a video way of doing this, sharing your thoughts with people, expressing your displeasure or your pleasure with what's going on in and around the world. And I think it's okay to do that. That's part of why I do this, is a source of venting, to try to have more going on, to find a way through and a way out, and a peaceful resolution to the drama and the crap that we are all stuck going through, is what I think. I don't, I'm looking something up. I don't say a lot of things that I think on YouTube, but because I think for me, if I tried to, I don't know, it's kind of like expressing yourself is one of the most difficult things to do. Then if you're going to try to be articulate and expressing yourself, that's really hard. And I think being in the academic world, even though I'm weak academically, I was always very, very aware of how much better writers people were than me, how much smarter, not really smarter, but academically, how much stronger they were than I was as an academic. So it makes it hard, I think. I just do. I don't know. But my friend Clark, I showed you the book that he wrote. He finally had a message he wanted to tell, and he finally sat down and wrote his book. He used a group called Christian Publishing. I guess they are like how do you want to say, a self-publishing company, so that you can write books. They can help you with the artwork, getting it bound, getting it put together, and getting it out there. Ooh, Diana's asking the question that I asked earlier. So, Henry, how many children do you have in Japan? No. Do you have family in Japan that you just remember, or just joking? I think I'm funnier than I am. Oh, no, I think I'm funnier than I am. No kids that he knows of. I want to say that, Henry. So, nope, no kids in Japan. I think there's, it's kind of like maybe Henry is going through this. I haven't been to the college I taught at, or that I spent about 30 years of my life at, since the day I left. And there's a tiny part of me that wants to go and walk the halls again. I'm not going to, but there's always that lingering thing. I would really like to see the room that I was in during my coma at the hospital. I would like to really see where my body was because I have problems with that. I would really like to, and they won't let me. They said I could, my therapist at the time said, well, that's the ICU. And I'm like, well, why don't you go ask one of the fucking people at the hospital if I could go look at the area? And she's like, well, I might. And I'm like, well, fuck you, you're fired. So I fired her. So there's part of that. There's also a part of me that since we failed living in the Philippines, it didn't work out the way we'd hoped. We will go back there for vacation, and that's going to bring resolution on that because I don't like how it did not work out for us in the Philippines. But that's my fault. I'll take the blame. So one of those things. Diana says, yeah, I really miss my old job. Do you miss the job or do you miss the people? I don't miss my old job. I miss the people. Henry says, I just have some business that still needs to be taken care of in the land of Japan. So both. So you miss the job itself and the people. What's weird for me is my old job at the college, I really don't miss the college employees. I miss all the other people that I got to interact with, the students, all the companies, Tyson Foods as an example, all these hundreds of companies around me, that people I got to know of safety managers and directors, all the people with OSHA, the Arkansas Department of Labor, the politicians. I actually kind of miss that, but I don't miss any of the employees at the college. Well, Henry's tough. Henry can take a punch, and Henry can take a joke, Diana. She says, but Henry, understand, I'm just messing with you. Hope you don't ever get upset. I hope I don't upset you. So, I don't know. Life is strange. I hope we don't have any regrets. I look back, and there's some things I did that I wish I wouldn't have done. I mean, they were kind of silly or stupid or childish. But were they so bad that I regret them? No, not really. It's just kind of, gee, that wasn't, very eloquent. I'm all good. Diana says, Diana says, I am still friends with my old line boss at Lucent. Nice, that's good. Cool, Henry. Well, that is good. They're not working at Lucent, right? Because I thought Lucent moved away. So, what's funny for me is I thought there was a lot of people at the college that were my friends, but I guess I knew they really weren't friends, and I never even bothered to make an attempt to stay in touch. When I retired from the college, I didn't even have a going away party. I told my boss, who liked having those, so that he could be important and stand up and say, yay, David's retiring. Everybody look at me. Look what I got him. I got him a little stupid gift. I am such of a great leader. Look at me. I'm giving a party for my employees retiring. I told him, go ahead and do one. I won't be there. Because I told him, I said, look, none of you people like me and I don't like you. So why would I go and pretend that you do? It pissed him off, but it is what it is. Yeah, they moved to Mexico. We had a bunch of companies here that did that in the early 2000s and late 90s also, moved to Mexico. I got 2 cars that I need to figure out what to do with and take care of my bank account. All right. A couple of cars to figure out what to do with. Oh, Diana, both of your parents have retired from Lucent. Wow. So how many years did you put in? Wow, Henry's hoping he can ship the cars back over. Whew, that's going to be a shipping crate and some good money. That'll probably cost anywhere from about 15 grand, I would think. If the government lets you bring them in. If they're on the list that can be brought in. I know I got a friend in the Philippines. They redo the Japanese cars. and resell them in the Philippines and change the drives. And they wanted to import stuff to America, and I did a bunch of research for them. And we could bring in the multi-cabs into America, but they had to be listed as farm equipment, and they could not be driven on the road. They would never meet the standards to be driven on the roads here. So we would have had to, and we were going to go into business and do this, but it was just not worth it because they couldn't be driven on the road. Then, you know, just a couple of days before they shut down. Wow. Yeah, I had a buddy, a safety buddy of mine, who worked for a wire company here. They made wire motors. I can't remember the name of them, but they made wire motors. Franklin. And a lot of people worked there for years, and they decided to move to Mexico. And man, they kind of did a scorched earth type of thing to their employees. At the end of the day, they promised a whole lot of shit, and those employees got nothing but screwed. Years, 2 years, okay. Yeah, Franklin Electric is the name of that company. Well, I tried to bring them back when I came back here, but they said no. I'm sure they're going to say no this time too. I mean, I really did. I spent, God, and I made phone calls after phone calls after phone calls, and we could import them. It's going to cost a small fortune. The guys were going to disassemble them and be able to pack like 10 of them in one cargo crate. But then they'd have to reassemble them, and we'd have to sell them as farm equipment. You know, and since that's all they could be listed as, they could no way be driven on the road. So I didn't think there was enough of a market to invest the money into it. And Diana's asking you, why can't they come back, Henry? Why did they say no? Can you just, maybe you can just sell them in Japan and get some money out of them? Might be the way to do that, so. Might be the best way to do it, I don't know. I like some of the Japanese cars and their vehicles. I'm too fat to fit in them, but it is, so Linder's in the house. He says, it's snowing where I am at. Well, congratulations to you. Wow, better you than me, to be honest. It's not snowing here, but we are supposed to be in the 30s tomorrow. Cold and crisp in my part of the world tomorrow. So everybody say hello to Soul. Linda is in the house. She's one of the ones that's trying to build their channel. So thank her for being here. Henry says, I really don't know why they wouldn't let me import them. Well, that's the problem. If I remember that right, the USA had a problem with Skylines. I remember watching a documentary years ago about Skylines. I really do. They had an issue with because they didn't meet safety standards. Diana says, you're more excited than I would be, Soul, about your snowfall. So which part of the world are you in? You don't got to give your address or anything, but just a generality would be good. First snowfall, I don't want a snowfall. Sometimes we do have a winter where we don't really get any snow. But usually we get snow in February, March, and April. So we get heavy snows then when those spring storms fire up, but we get a winter dump in there. We've had some big snows in Arkansas. So, but it usually doesn't last long. But I agree with Henry in we are starting to think that the South may have a very interesting winter this winter. I think when it finally turns winter here, which is going to be in mid-December, I think now, the trees are still turning leaves here. They're not dropped all the way yet. So it hasn't been that cold. But I think when winter comes in this year, it's going to come in and it's going to stay in. It's going to be pretty chilly. So But yeah, Henry, there's something about Skylines, and they were talking about the documentary because they made it in reference to the Fast and Furious movies, and they wanted to explain why they put a skyline in the Fast and Furious movies, and about how everybody was so impressed by it because they weren't allowed to be imported in the United States. So, that was one of those things about the Fast and Furious movies where during the documentaries they were talking about a lot of that. So maybe that's something like that. But you should probably get decent money for them there in Japan. I don't know. But I like some of the cars from foreign countries. I wish America, I know we love our big fancy luxury cars, but I really think some of the cars you see in Australia are really cool. And some of the things they have there, and even some of the English, and some of the Russian cars are cool looking. So I dig that. Some of the Asian cars are really interesting. So I don't know. I dig some foreign cars. But, us Americans, we like our big luxury, powerful machines. Well, a little three-banger that makes 100 horsepower doesn't do too well in America. But, yeah, I'd like to have another hobby car. We only have our 2 cars now. We've always had 3 cars. But this time coming back from the Philippines, we didn't go after a toy car. We usually have a convertible, Lorelei and I do, a Mustang. But as I got older, it got harder and harder to get in and out of. So this time we're just kind of like, no, we're not going to do that. Plus, we need to move to southern Alabama. And I think what we're going to do when we get to Alabama, because we do like having a weekend car, something that's fun to drive, that's like a convertible. So what I'm going to try to do when we finally move to our last house is I want to buy a Jeep, not a new Jeep, an older Jeep, like a Jeep Renegade, and one maybe from the 80s or the 90s that I can put a Bimini top on, put regular street tires on, and just, and lower it to the ground where it's normal getting in and out of, where you don't got to jump in it. And we're going to turn that into our weekend beach car. Jeep, we're going to do that. We're going to find one like that. Use Mustang, always wanted Mustangs. I love Mustangs. I'm a Mustang guy. I hate the Camaros, could give a rat's ass. But I've had a couple of them, and I got a couple of dream Mustangs that if I won the lottery, that when you came to my house, you would see them in the garage. So I'm a big Mustang thing. Now, both of my cars, they did pass the safety test, but they still said no on bringing them here. Wow, interesting. I don't know. Maybe you didn't grease the palm well enough, Maybe you didn't grease that old palm. So Mustangs we love, but they're too low to the ground. Now look, if I won the lottery, I would buy a Bentley convertible. That's my dream car, is this freaking Bentley convertible that's out there. But 300 grand for a car, I better have 300 million in the bank. El Camino is a great car, without question. So we've thought about that. I don't care, it could have a 4-banger in it, the Jeep, 4-banger Jeep, automatic, so Lorelei can drive it. Breaking news, entertainment's in the house, thank you, yeah. Entertainment, how are you? That membership's looking good on you. Makes you look smart, my friend, how are you? Soul says, breaking news, what's the breaking news? Tell us. It's your first snowstorm, I know that. What else? Come on. We're all excited, we're waiting to have. But yeah, so we plan, I got it visualized in my head. All right, guess what, Soul? Soul says, guess what? At work, waiting for 9 to get here. Okay. Thank you for being here, Entertainment. Everybody say hello to Entertainment. And if you haven't said hello, and Linder, thank you guys for giving us a thumbs up as you came in. It's always important to do that. Yeah, I like El Caminos. You're going to find out that I like the El Rancho better, but I like it. Your new short is up. Congratulations. Great. So you got a new short that's up for everybody to go see. So that's good. We'll keep sending people your way. Entertainment is that a rabbit? Entertainment. The thing is so little, I can't tell if that's a rabbit or a peace sign. I'm going to try to blow up the screen. But then again, I don't know how to do that because I'm not very smart. Let's see if I can see it. I think it's a peace sign, right? Peace sign. All right, thank you. So, Linder, what were you thinking? Stop spamming. Uh-oh. They timed you out for 5 seconds, so Linder, because you probably dropped too many emojis or something. I can't see, but Nightbot is spanking you at this point, saying, bad Soul Linder, go to timeout for 5 seconds. So that's what we want to do. I want an older Jeep, Renegade. You know, I can redo it and put a little money into it. It can have a 4-banger in it. It can be an automatic. All we wanted for is to go take it to the beach, drive the coast, you know, day when you want to do a little bit of that. Maybe take it fishing a little bit. So Linder is dumping the planet. I think that's, is that Mars or Venus? Or Uranus or Saturn? That might be Saturn. Nightbot, is that it again? It is. Someday I'll figure out how to use Nightbot properly. I want a houseboat. I want a house on the water, to be honest. My dream for Lorelei, because remember, I have no dreams. My dreams are all the dreams of my wife. My dream is to have a house on the Intercoastal Waterway, saltwater, where we have a boat dock, a boathouse, a swimming pool, a fenced-in yard for my dog, saltwater swimming pool, and about 3,000 to 5,000 square feet of luxury mansion for my wife, and a great outdoor kitchen. But it's only for my wife. I don't want it myself. I'm not greedy like that. So if it has a sanitizer, is that what that is? Did you get the message on Messenger? I haven't looked at Philippine American couple. I'll look at it a little bit later. I haven't looked at it yet in a while. Probably, I'm sure. I know my wife told me there are some messages on there. You can travel all over the place in a houseboat? Yeah. Yeah. You know, you can rent houseboats on certain lakes and stay in them for, you know, however long you want. But like Lake Havasu, our lake here, you can rent a houseboat and camp on it for 3, 4, 5 days if you want and try them out. I love to fish, and I used to have a fishing boat that we took out, but with my health, I don't have it in me to load and unload a fishing boat all the time. So my dream would be, or her dream, not mine, would be to have the boat in the backyard so I could walk out and get in it and go fishing and come back and park it. Henry says he's around the boats down where he's at, and I know one that's perfect for traveling in. I fish a good bit. Oh, do you? Nice. I fish nowhere near as much as I would want to. That's partly why we want to go further. I want to go further south, like to southern Alabama, because then I can just run down to some backwater, saltwater, brackish water, and spend the afternoon fishing. So I love to fish. I even have a YouTube channel called Fishing with Pack that really doesn't have anything on it yet, but I got it set up so that when I go to Alabama, I can turn that into a separate fishing channel. You got a little 12-foot aluminum boat? Nice. And plus, it's for sale right now. Henry says entertainment. You got a boat right there for you. Yeah, we had a Bass Tracker Pro 175 is what I had. So Diana says, so you've done a lot in your life, huh, Henry? Yes, that's awesome. Hello, everybody. How's it going today? That's Soul Lender's partner in crime, so to speak. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up as you come in. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If anybody's in the background hasn't done that already, we appreciate that. I'm excited for everybody who got membership gifted to them. Yeah, yeah. I'm still not done yet. Well, that's why you got to go on a cruise, man. I'm telling you, doing the cruise thing is the way to go. But yeah, if we hit the lottery or got lucky, made real money on YouTube, I would buy Lorelei a beautiful intercoastal house is what we would buy. And I would never leave. I would just order my Walmart groceries delivered and sit out in my backyard and fish. Pet my dogs and fish, and then cook on my grill. That's my dream. We'd go on cruises and travel. We're going to try to do a lot this winter before it gets too cold and share Christmas with you guys. So, and Soulcast Shorts said that they got a new short out. They put a new short out on their channel there. If anybody wants to go and check that out. So, Diana, where's your bucket list? Henry, do you have a bucket list? How about Soul? Do you have a bucket list? Where do you guys want to travel to? Entertainment? Where do you want to travel to? Give me your top 3. If I won the lottery, I would go 1, 2, and 3. The main Soul Lender came out with a new short. Yeah, she told us that. That's great. What's the short about? Can you give us a synopsis of what the short's about? I put one out today about my dog. My dog Lily faking like she's sleeping, but she wasn't. She was faking it, because she didn't want to be bothered. So our dog Lily, when she doesn't want to be bothered, she goes invisible mode. And you can see, because when she sleeps, her eyes are relaxed. But when she's trying to be invisible, she does this. So, if I hit the lottery, I'll disappear fast. All right. Jamaica and Germany. Jamaica's a real doable one, Diana. Real doable with the cruise ship. I would like to do Jamaica and Germany. They're not high on the list, but they're definitely on our list too. Germany, Scotland, maybe Australia. Australia, absolutely. Scotland, if we're in that part of the world, sure, why not? So, hey, I'm back, says Cheese. Thank you for being back. Did you give us a thumbs up when you came in? You did? Great. Thank you for that. I hope you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that. Weather related. I was talking about the snow that you guys are getting. She said you guys are getting a snowstorm, your first snow. Our good friend Scotty B is in the house. Hello, Pack. I have just a minute, but I wanted to stop by and say hi. Thank you for doing that, Scotty. We appreciate your support, your thumbs up, and your appreciation. So we need to get together and do something collaboratively somehow here soon, Scotty, whenever you want to. You just let me know. Diana says, I am scared of Australia. Why? I get excited about Australia. Going to Australia and New Zealand, that one excites me. Cheese says, great. We appreciate you being here, Cheese. I don't like spiders. I don't want to be beat up. All right, Scotty, we appreciate you, my friend. I hope all's going well. So take care. We'll talk to you soon. Indiana. So I'd like to go to Indiana. Okay, Indiana's easy. Pennsylvania, that's easy. You guys can do that. Germany would be good, right? So everybody likes Germany. And maybe Wisconsin. All right. See, I've been to Indiana, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. I've been to Wisconsin. So, see, I try to be funny. Well, I just think of have you seen the videos of that muscular, mean looking kangaroo that's all jacked up? You know, that's what I think every time I think of a kangaroo kicking our ass, is that big 9-foot kangaroo that's built, like a bodybuilder. So, but I would love to go to Australia, New Zealand. Absolutely would love to see those. Yes. I would like to go to Thailand, but not for the reason everybody wants to go to Thailand. All the guys want to go there. I don't care about the girls. I would like to go to Thailand and see some of their temples. I think that would be really cool. I would like to go to Easter Island, where the Moai are, and see them. That's one of the things on my bucket list. If I had big money, I'd go to Easter Island, and I would like to go to. God, there's just so many little weird places. There's places in South America where we think the aliens did things. I would like to go see those. I'd like to go see the pyramids, Taj Mahal. But I would move to Alaska for the summer and travel the winter. Nice. Dubai. Dubai's high on the bucket list. I would like to go to Dubai, especially if you got money to live, at least for a week or two, the Dubai lifestyle. Dubai is high on my list. I am very fascinated by all their engineering. Would love to see it. Soul said they're going to go to Indiana. I actually going there next summer in 2025. Nice. Indiana's not very far from us. It's just right up the road. Well, up the road and over. So it's really, there's really, what would you do in Indiana? I guess is my question, because I don't think there's anything, I'm not trying to be mean, I don't think there's any reason to go to Indiana. Sorry. I don't think of Indiana as a tourist place. Awesome, you agree with me about Dubai? Yeah, Dubai's cool. I want to see the man-made engineering. I really want to see a lot of that. I've been there, and when you get away from the cities, it's an amazing country, yes. So I have a lot of places that if we had money and we had a dog babysitter we trusted, we would travel a lot. Lorelai would like to go all over Europe, France, and Italy, and I'd like to go to Italy. I agree, I really would. Thailand to see the temples, not the ladyboys. But the temples fascinate me. Architecture fascinates me. I would like to go to France and see the Notre Dame. I'm just a huge architecture fan, and I really like natural things too. Worlds of the wonder. Like, we'd even like to go up and see the Niagara Falls. I got a friend I'm meeting up with there, or longtime friends, haven't seen each other in forever. Now that makes sense. So going somewhere to meet a friend is always a good thing to do. Always a good thing. And I totally encourage you to do that. But we would travel Europe. I would like to go to Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong. Those are all high on the bucket list for me. A lot of cool places to see. Malaysia. I think Italy is a cool place to visit. What about, yes. I would like to go to Italy because, now I'm not Italian and I don't know anything about the country, but from what I understand, it's kind of like northern Italy. The food and culture is different from southern Italy. So from what I read, so yes, Italy is high on the list for me, especially because I like food. But I would like to go to Bulgaria. I would like to go to some of those small countries, like Austria. Not all, not. I want to go to Australia, but I mean Austria, and some of those would be really cool. Sweden. Who doesn't want to go to Sweden, right? I mean, I would love to go to Sweden. I would. Oh, one of the places I would really like to go is Iceland and Greenland. I would like to go to those two countries. I think what they do environmentally in Iceland is unfreaking believable. Well, you could go to the Georgia and see the pyramid there in Atlanta. Yes, yes, it's just not that impressive. The funny thing is, a lot of people don't know this, but there literally are more pyramids in America than you think there are. They're not gigantic like in Egypt, but we actually have pyramids in the Americas, especially in South America. Iceland, right? Not only are the women beautiful, even though my Filipino wife is 10 times more beautiful than any of them, but I really like how they use thermal energy there. I like how they build their buildings. I know I don't understand the language at all, and that would be a problem, but I would really like to see how their societies are. I think America, and I love America, so don't get me wrong about this, but I think we are missing the boat on construction and engineering compared to a lot of other countries. I even think the Philippines build some cool houses that would be awesome in America, but we don't build them like that. Yeah, I know. So Henry said, so I really want to see the geothermal stuff that they do there because we could do that in America. We could do a lot more in America, but we don't. We take the easy way out. So I don't know. I get excited about traveling. My only problem is my poor old legs. I got to buy another mobility scooter to do all of that. So I have not. I have not heard about the recent Icelandic volcano shows. So they got some volcanoes erupting again, like in the last couple of days. I know they've had some issues in the last year. So, and in all fairness, I would say that I would also like to go to Russia. If Russia wasn't cold and miserable, I would like to see the architecture in Russia. I think that would be a cool thing to see, but I don't ever get excited about going to Russia because I just don't think it feels like a nice place to go. I want to go somewhere where it's a nice place to go. But I'm just absolutely fascinated by how people live, how they build their streets, their drainage. Rome would be fascinating. I love architecture. I think it's fascinating. I could never do it, but it amazes me. Even in America, you go out southwest, to the deserts and the plains where the Native Americans are and how they built adobos and they built into the cliffs and made caves and whole societies inside of wall faces. It's just freaking amazing what people can do. And I would like to see it. I would like to see it. But I got to admit, I would like to be so rich that basically I just tell my assistant, here's what I want to do, here's what I want to see, get it all figured out, get it all organized, so that I don't have to do anything but just follow the lead, so that I can enjoy myself. Okay, Henry, I wouldn't mind going to China. I think China's a fine place. I like to see the Great Wall. So China would be cool. Ever seen the Smoky Mountains in Georgia? Yes, I have. I have. I've been to Smoky Mountains multiple times. It's beautiful. I've stayed in the Smoky Mountains. Waking up and seeing that purple haze is really nice. I highly encourage people go see the Smokies. I enjoy the Smokies. Now, if you want to see something impressive, the thing that impressed me the most in America was going to the Grand Canyon. If you want your mind blown, go to the Grand Canyon and stand at the edge of it. It is mind blowing. But yeah, we've been to the Smokies. I've been to Lorelei's never been. Yeah, because we flew over them. But I've been to the Smokies multiple times. Dennis, yes. Grand Canyon is incredible. Yes, it is, Dennis. Thank you for being here. It blew my mind. I usually don't want to go visit places more than once. But and thank you all for the hearts and the love and the support. Thank you for the thumbs uppers. But I gotta admit, I would go back to, if somebody said, hey, we need to plan a trip to go to the Grand Canyon, I'd go, all right, all right. Let us see if we can't figure that one out. You've been there 4 or 5 times. Wow. I've only been there once, and I'm telling you, it blew my freaking mind. Hey, Dennis from the man named HTN. So I would go back to the Grand Canyon. I know one place I want to go back to, I went to as a kid, I want to go back to as an adult, is Carlsbad Caverns, New Mexico. I went there as a kid. I would really like to go see it with my own eyes as an adult. Diana's saying hello. Dennis is saying hello. Yes, from Vegas, helicopter there. Yes. We took the bus trip because we're poor, not like you. We had to pay the bus trip, but it was worth it. It was great. We went to the Skywalk and did the Skywalk, very touristy, but the food was good. We loved it, I gotta admit. Yeah. But helicoptering over it would be a dream, would be definitely something we would want to say, yeah, let's do this. Henry's been there too many times to count. I like the Grand Canyon. Would go back in a heartbeat. I'd like to go back to Vegas too and stay at a different resort, I think, We stayed at the Paris Hotel. I think I don't like to Vegas, but I would like to go back to Vegas. I think I would do that. If somebody said, hey, there's a conference or this or that in Vegas and you can have your trip paid for or whatever, I'd go, oh, all right, I'd go. I would go. I would like to go back to Miami and sightsee Miami. We weren't there but for a cruise. So what little bit we got to see and what little bit I got to see coming back, I think I would like to take a tour of Miami Beach and places of that in Miami. I think that would be cool. I have no desire to go to Chicago. Been there, done that. So Dallas, Texas, we go regularly. Been there, done that. Houston, same thing. So, but there's a lot of beautiful country out west. I don't want to go back to California. No desire there to travel to California anymore. A lot of great places. I got to Google this. You know what I just found out? Maybe somebody on here knows why. It appears around here, those machines where you can go and buy your lottery tickets, like at truck stops? A lot of the truck stops have machines now where you go in and you buy your lottery ticket versus buying them from a cashier. Walmart has those, but Walmart took them all out. They're all gone. I don't know what happened in the last 3 weeks, but Walmart got rid of all of their lottery machines. So now I got to find a gas station, go in and get my lottery winnings at a gas station. So interesting. I need to Google and find out why they did that. I don't know if it was the state of Arkansas, the Lottery Commission, or Walmart wasn't making any money off of them, so said, we're not going to give you 3 square feet of our floor for the machines to be here. I don't know. Or maybe they are becoming anti-gambling. I don't know what the deal is, why Walmart did that. But I found that out. So, because you got to win this kind of money to do the traveling I want. I haven't been many places, Diana says. Diana, traveling is one of the scariest things you can do, but it's one of the most rewarding things that you do when it's over. And I mean that sincerely. Somebody like Dennis has traveled lots and lots, and Henry's traveled a lot, and I've traveled some. And what I can say is I am a much better person because I've got to travel as much as I have. And that's the honest to God truth. It has given me more courage. The first time I flew first time I took a conference trip at the college, they paid for everything, but I had to get my happy ass on a plane for the very first time and fly across the country and rent a car and find my hotel and do all of that by myself, even though it was all pre-booked. I'm telling you, you learn a lot. You become a better person. Then you meet different people. I've met so many good people that sometimes they stay in touch for a long time that you meet. So Henry says you should start traveling. Well, she needs a traveling partner. Henry, hint, 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 cruise ship out of Galveston, Texas, not very far from either one of you, or New Orleans. I would take the Galveston one over New Orleans because New Orleans smells like pee. Galveston is nice. So, and they got a new cruise port in Galveston. So, so just throw that out there for you two, because we've been out of Galveston cruising. But I'm just telling you, and I know that a lot of times if you go on a cruise, maybe you don't see the real part of the country. You see the tourist stuff, but you come back being proud of yourself for conquering those mountains, for those challenges. And then, I mean, I feel so blessed and rewarded that when Lorelai got into my life, when she came into my life, we started traveling a lot more because I had a travel partner. Before, I traveled quite a bit, but I did it because the college paid for everything, and I'm volunteering, going, all right, I'll go to that conference on how big are cockroaches in South Africa. Whatever, I don't give a shit. You pay for it, I'll go. But it wasn't a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, even though I got to see some cool places and meet some people and have some fun. But when Lorelai got here and we got married and started traveling together, changes the world. I'm just telling you. I love traveling with my wife. Cheese says, I love other random persons copying every emoji, make fun of the side emoji bar. Oh, well, that's all right. That helps. Every chat, every little, I can't remember what they call all those little side pops-ups, the hearts that are going up now, all the emojis that are coming through that, which are like the party ones, the happy ones, and all of those things. YouTube likes all that. It's like they like the super chats. They like having a lot of people in and out of a live stream. It helps. So I appreciate whoever's pushing the button a lot. I think it's a good thing. I don't know if I got a button. I can't push a button on my side. I don't have a button to push, I don't think. See those little 100s coming up? YouTube likes all of that stuff. It makes them think I'm a good YouTube host. You won't get me back into New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans architecture is cool, but it smells like a pee. Yeah, so why go to New Orleans? Why? That's partly why we want to live in Mobile, Alabama, or Southern Alabama, because you got the port of Mobile there. They do got the cruise port there, one in New Orleans and one in Galveston, which isn't that far. So you can we can also hit the one in Florida pretty easily. Tampa is not a horrible flight, and Port Canaveral and Miami is a lot closer and easier. So, but I think it's good. Oh, don't forget the little, I don't know what they call those things. So that's what you guys can do, That's interesting. So traveling, Diana, I know it's can be a little nerve-wracking because you're always worried about getting lost. Am I going in the right place? Am I going the right direction? What you do is you just factor in when you're new to an area, the time in case you get lost. So you don't have to stress over it. It's what I tell Lorelai all the time when we're driving and she wants to be a backseat driver next to me. Look, by chirping in, you're disrupting me. You're confusing me. Let me just drive. If I get it wrong, I will turn around, get it corrected, and go the right direction. It's okay because I factored that into my schedule. I'm okay. If I get a little lost, I'll fix it. It'll be okay. You just keep going, you know. That's what you have to, the mindset you have to have. People keep trying to tell me, you should do what? Oh, nobody thinks you're a user, Diana. So I hope you don't feel like I think that, Diana. Please don't be offended by that. I'm not that girl, the type of using you, and not like them just saying, no, no, Diana. I hope you don't take offense to. Henry says he knows. I'm just encouraging you to get out and do things. And having a travel partner is one of the best ways to do it. You get nervous driving to the doctor. Well, hell, we all get nervous driving to the doctor because we know what's going to happen at the doctor. One, it's going to cost us a lot of money, and there's a good damn chance they're going to stick something in us. So we all get nervous going to the doctor, Diana. And you're okay, Diana. We know you're a good person and you don't mean any. I just love traveling, and I love how it makes us bigger, bolder, braver people. I love how it humbles us. It makes us proud of where we're from, but it makes us stronger. It really does. And baby steps, Diana, baby steps is all I encourage you. And that's why I encourage people to go on cruises, because cruises are one of the safest things you can do. It always raises my blood pressure. I had to go today to the doctor. Well, yeah, of course it raises your blood pressure. Damn. I mean, hell. What raises my blood pressure is when I got to take our dogs to the vet because I know there is no insurance and I'm paying 100% of that bill out of my pocket. But Diana, I'll just tell you, going on a 3-day or 4-day cruise out of Galveston, Texas is one of the safest, funnest entryways into that will open your world. You'll probably come back from your first cruise and go, well, you're going to go to Cozumel. It's a 3-day. Go out of Galveston, go to Cozumel, and come back. You'll love it. You'll go, oh my God. And turn around and you'll want to do it again. Heart doctor, I know. Luckily for me, well, not lucky for me. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a heart doctor. I have a bunch of them. But I'm getting ready to have my pacemaker changed. So, all right, if you guys want to see sexy pictures of sexy stuff, I'm going to show you something sexy. So if you're not over the age of 21, or is it 18? I can't remember. If you're not old enough to see sexy pictures, better close your eyes, everybody. Say, this is where my pacemaker is, right there. But it's almost dead. And the sad thing is, I've had 2 of them. This is my second one. The first one wasn't good enough. The first one was in, and that's when one of the times I died is with the first pacemaker. I died in between them taking it out. I died with it in, and then I died when they got it started again. Then later when they took it out and replaced it, we had another episode. So those are the 2 of the 4 times. So, but my pacemaker should start beeping any day. We don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or 6 months, but it should expire within the next year for sure. So one of these days I'm going to wake up and start hearing beep, beep, beep. I try to avoid going to the doctor. That's a smart thing, but it's not the good thing, Henry. I'm going to set my kids on a cruise. Oh, you told me about that right now. And they're mad at me for not sharing the money that they think I got from my parents passing away. Well, may I ask, why do they think your parents had money? Why do they think they had money? Because they had a house, so they think they had money? Did they not? I'm just assuming that your parents probably lived on a fixed income, like most people do in America, when they retire and stuff. So are they just assuming that since they're, because I remember you telling me you're at your folks' house, that because they had a house, they had money, and then of course, what makes them entitled to the money that your parents had if your parents and or their grandparents did not leave it to them in a will? If it wasn't left to them in a will, then it's not their money to begin with. They just always thought they had money. Well, and I know this much. You can talk until you're blue in the face, trying to convince them otherwise, that they don't, that there's not any, but they're never going to believe it. They want to believe what they want to believe. And they're not going to believe the truth. You can bring out the bank accounts and show it to them, show them the will if there's a will, show them everything, and they're still going to think, oh, you're lying, Mom, you're hiding something, or you should sell this house and give us the money. What? Why in the hell is that? They showed favoritisms and they liked my son the most out of the grandchildren. All right. Well, you can't help what your parents did or didn't do. And, I mean, do they think that you ought to sell that house and give them the money? And then what's going to happen to you? You know, I mean, I couldn't remember if you had any brothers and sisters, Diana. And so are the kids that are on the cruise upset because with the brother that their brother that was the favorite? Soul says, I have a new video coming out and I am still here rocking it. That's great. Is it still snowing, Soul? No, I have to take care. Yeah, I know you have to take care of your brother. Yeah, you have a brother. That's right. You have a brother that you're taking care of, which in part is why your parents probably have you in the house, right? I mean, that's part of the package. So what you should do is just tell them, say, well, don't worry about it. When I die, you'll get whatever's left over. You know, because sadly, that's all people give a shit about these days is inheritance. And a lot of them want their inheritance now versus even though they're not entitled to inheritance. HCN says, when I thought the same thing when my father died, with all of my brothers and sisters, the best to do is just move on. It is. It's not worth fighting over money with family members. I've told the stories that I've gone through. No, I'm not going to fight with you over somebody's furniture and their shit. You want it? Take it. I don't give a shit. I'm not a greedy piece of shit like you. So, yeah, your other brother already passed away. Everyone took my brother. Nah, don't do that until you have to, or until you're ready to. Diana, this is kind of like a little bit of everything that I tell people. Follow your heart. Because only you, the person who walks in those shoes each and every day, know what the right thing to do is. Not me, not your kids, not the guy down the road, only you. And you have to trust in yourself to follow what you know is right. All right? And I know you can do that. Henry says, that's what I said. Yeah. And I mean that. It's I got a friend who's gone through hell the last couple of years, and he has his family members has told him, hey, you should hate the other people. You should do this, because he could do a lot of damage to them. You should do this, do that, do that. And I've told him, and he's followed my advice and his own beliefs. I told him, I said, you haven't gotten where you've gotten in the life by being who you're not. So just be who you are. Follow what your heart tells you to do is the right thing to do. So just because those other people over here are acting like asswipes and buttheads and they're doing really bad things, you don't have to stoop to their level. You can rise above it because that's who you are. Because it's not about how they see you, it's about how we see ourselves. We have to live with us. The decisions we make, we have to sleep with, not them. Not them at all. It would break my heart to break my brother's heart. Exactly. And as long as you can take care of him, you should, if that's what you want to do. If it comes to a time and a point when assisted living's better, well, then that's up to you guys. You know, I mean, he may get to the point someday where he's like, you know, sis, I would rather go do this, whatever. It might be what's best. But for now, whatever your heart tells you to do, you do it. Don't worry about anybody else. I finally figured that one out. It takes us a while sometimes. I mean, I'm almost 900 years old, and it took me about 800 of those to figure out not to be a butthead. So, you know, it's we don't learn lessons easily, but once we learn them, the smart ones will remember and learn them forever. And that's what we have to do, Diana. I've learned a lot of hard lessons, and I try to advise people the best I can in reality versus fiction. Because what you go through every day with your brother, with your family, you know, there's a whole lot more to it than what little information others have. And family members are really bad about this, and this is your situation. They got a little bit of knowledge, and a little bit of knowledge can be dangerous. So they've got it in their head that there's a nest egg hidden away that they should be inheriting, even though they're not in the will. And you should give it to them anyway. I mean, it's sad, but it is the way it is. It's how things work. And just be proud of yourself. Don't stress. Be happy. And be you. That's what I tell everybody. Just try to be you. So, well, all right, my friends, it's almost 8:30. I think it's time to wrap this one up for the day. We've had two good live streams today. Appreciate everybody coming and watching and checking us out and subscribing and liking and sharing and giving us all the support that we need to grow this channel so that my poor wife will have a life free of debt after I'm gone. I'm moving onward and upward, and you should. And look, and I tell people this all the time, Diana, and I mean this with all my heart. If you're not moving, you're going backwards. So standing still means you're going backwards. So you got to keep moving to go forward. And that's the only way in life. Because if we stand still, the world moves past us. But you're in charge. Standing still means moving backwards. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Unless it's really bad illegal drugs. Don't do those. All right, my friends. We appreciate everybody. Like I said, everybody say goodbye to everybody. Now, tomorrow's Wednesday morning. I don't think there's any live stream for us in the morning tomorrow. Lorelai has doctor's appointments, so we got a bunch of running around to do. And so we probably won't do anything in the morning, but it's Wednesday night, so I'm sure we will do one tomorrow night. Hopefully, I can come up with a topic that's more interesting, that we could get more people to come and join us in and have a better conversation than just hearing me ramble on about my philosophies. So, but everybody take care. Appreciate y'all. Be safe. If you need anything, just let us know. Support to everybody. And Henry, Diana, Soul, everybody in here, all of our good friends. Dennis, appreciate you as always. Take care, everybody.